Good morning, everybody on YouTube. Sorry, guys, you had to wait a minute or two. Uncle John joined me, and we started the discussion. We couldn't stop, so it's just timing, guys. Just timing. Good morning, Rob, Luigi, Geert, and Piotr. Sorry, I'm reading from the bottom up now. Morning, guys. Welcome. I hope you guys had a good Christmas and I hope you guys liked the surprise that you got a new Zibo for Christmas as well. That was a good one. Ooh, there's Dimitri. Good morning, Dimitri. Okay, I want to just quickly check something because something changed now while you and I were talking, Uncle John. I don't get it.
Morning, everybody. Hope you all had a good Christmas and season's greetings for the new year.
Thank you, Uncle John. I want to try this.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Merry Christmas, Dimitri. Welcome. Morning. Okay. So we want to fly from Frankfurt to Stansted. That's the plan. Okay, so when I spawned in here this morning, I had it was miserable frame rates, 15, 16 frames. So I started fiddling with the settings a little bit and I had it up to 30. And while you and I were talking, Uncle John, it's like, I don't know if there's a memory bleed or what. It just died again. The frames just went bad.
But you had this the other day. You couldn't understand it. I forget where you were based.
No, that was because of STKP. This is the Aviotech EDDF scenery that is tremendously hard on frames. Even with my big system, I'm struggling with it. So, one of the things I did discover...
Yeah. The Lord was really good with me. He blessed me with a really nice Christmas dinner.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, and I'm just, I'm suffering the consequences now.
Okay. What happens? What can we do? I must be honest, we had a good Christmas dinner. We earned lunch, actually. We didn't have dinner, it was lunch. And it was absolutely fantastic. And there we go. Now I've got 30 plus frame rates. Morning, Jacob. Okay, so the first thing I discovered at this silly, stupid scenery is if I pull my shadows right to the left, I immediately got my FPS back. But now I had to, after you and I talked in the think tank again, I had to just pull these two sliders back again. I couldn't care less. I've got 35 FPS now. See, if we look down, it's even more. So, here we are. Morning, Chronic. Yeah, I'm doing the stream a little bit earlier than usual, like an hour earlier, because I'm sitting here bored. And I thought, I might as well just do it and see if you guys join me. It's okay. If you don't join me, we'll catch up.
It's called withdrawal symptoms over the Christmas day that he didn't get on his rig.
Exactly. Yeah, yesterday was all family, and, things happened. So I did not fly at all. So I haven't
really... Hello, John.
Sorry, say again?
No, I said hello, John.
Hello, sir.
130, 1.868. Yeah, go for it. Okay, yeah. So I haven't really done much flight planning. I quickly checked the runways and things, but it looks nasty here, man. Look at this. Yeah. What did you have for your Christmas dinner, Dimitri?
Oh, we had everything, really. Like turkey, stuffed turkey, mashed potatoes, grilled vegetables, Greek salad, pie for dessert. It was good.
No roast potatoes?
Not this time. We had them mashed, John.
Oh, you gotta have roast potatoes cooked in duck fat.
Yeah, that sounds nice indeed.
It does. Hope you guys on stream had a good Christmas. Correct, Jacob, correct. And it was suffering, man. It was... the shadows was terrible there. The shadows was just... blah. And you know what? It's the same with that lousy scenery from Flight Tampa for Amsterdam. If I turn down my shadows, I can use it. If I have my shadows on, it's like dustbin time, you know, it's just crap. Dimitri.
Yes, sir.
And you want to tell that buddy of yours to fix Amsterdam for us, man?
Funny thing you mentioned, we were talking behind the scenes there a couple of weeks ago, and what happened there is they created this from scratch, but they used some shadow bitmaps based on certain technology that they were promised by your friends at Laminar, but that wasn't ended up being the case. So, and as a result, now they have, and that actually shows why when you turn your shadows down,
yeah, the shadows off, yes.
Because those shadows bitmaps use a tremendous amount of both CPU and GPU power.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So they're working on redoing the whole scenery. Until then, he said, I mean, you can play around and, you know, maybe take out a lot of the overlays that they have and just use, you know, whatever overlays you get from your orthos or whatever. But, you know, it's a heavy scenery, that's for sure. Are you using their overlays, or are you relying on your own through?
No, they don't. I saw on their forum you can take one of the folders out, but for me it's like cheating, you know. I do it sometimes I don't, and usually when I speak to the users I say just get rid of the folder, you know. So
yeah, I'm with you. I don't generally I don't agree with all these alchemies that we need to resort into fixing these things. You know, you paid certain amount of money for a scenery, you should get the whole scenery there rather than going into this alchemies and take this out, put this in, and fix this, fix that. You know, it's
absolutely I agree with you. So, sorry guys, I'm just reacting here to something I read. People were complaining that doors were not opening and things didn't look right in 7.5, and I swear I don't see it. Mine works. So I just want to get it on video. We need to refer anybody, but I mean, there it is. There's no issue.
I saw that, Nico, but for what it's worth, I haven't had any issues either. So I mean, I don't know what's
I don't know. I think the people do funny things that they don't tell us everything. You know, it's so quick and easy to just complain, but they don't give you all the background information. They don't tell you, listen, you know what, I did this, or I forgot to do this, or maybe this, maybe that. I don't know. So I don't know. So far, so good. See, even the after entry is open. See? Uncle John?
Yes, sir.
You see the stairs at the back? These two men with the little car here? You see this?
Yes, sir.
That is the stuff you asked me about Yeri, and I said it's his ground handling. This is Yeri's ground handling. Remember?
Yeah, I've already got it on my list to ask you. Should I change over to it?
No. Unless he ends up with Zibo and they put it inside of the Zibo mod, don't change. Stick with what you've got.
Okay.
Chronic. Your honeycomb Bravo. Oh, that's not good. Check your USB settings. Maybe it went to sleep or something. I don't know. Weird. Oh, it sounds like something got stuck. Right, so let's continue. My doors are working, so I don't know. Load.
I'm going to take a chance.
Yeah.
If Zibo's watching this stream,
Yeah.
sir, a million thanks for our Christmas Day upgrade on the Zibo.
Yeah.
Bless you, sir. Bless.
Thank you, Walter. Oh, he snuck that one in. I didn't even know about it. See, I was with family yesterday. I didn't even bother to look on Discord. And when I got home, I said, oh, there's a new one. Can you talk anything about AP and TQ? Nah, that's not my field of expertise, man. Jacob, just gonna waffle or just have a chat, you know. Nothing of significance. When it comes to those things, there's only really one guy that will be able to really chat with you, and that's Zibo. Tau. So I don't know what Tau in German could mean, if it has any meaning.
Captain,
maybe one of you guys
we are
can
freezing
tell me.
in the cabin.
But Tau in South Africa, I think it's Sutu. It means lion. How's that for a little bit of trivial knowledge this morning? Okay. I am S22 and we're going to fight. Right, so let's get this thing to warm up the cabin for us. I must get into a better habit, you see, because I don't feel the cold. I don't think about starting the heater up. Let's get into a better habit here. Oh, my doors are still working. I think a lot of the users have not realized that to fix most of the Zibo problems, you just delete your folder and you reinstall the Zibo mod. You know, I think they don't want to do it, but that's really the easiest way. When you get into funnies, I don't even waste time, man. I just zap it, kill it, make another one. Hey, Uncle John, I mean, it's easy.
It's 2 folders.
Yeah.
That's all. 2 folders. One folder inside the other. Job done.
Yeah. Most users don't even have 2 folders. They only have one. You know, so let's do this thing properly now. Let's wait the 1 minute.
I have 3 additional things I have to put in. I have to put my livery in. I have to put Linda back in. And there's one other thing I'm trying. Oh, my camera back in.
Yeah. Abisal, good morning. Well, that's exactly what happened. Laminate didn't give and the guys stopped making, you know. And the guys who did venture into making are going to have to redo a lot of their work, you know, updates. Yeah, exactly, Chronic. You know what happened
Captain,
to mine?
we
At
are
one
freezing
point in
in the
time,
cabin.
mine died so badly, I had to go into output preferences into the controller folder. And I had to physically delete that file that controlled my controller. And then I had to basically create a new one from scratch. And I mean, me and Zibo were sitting here pulling our hair out at one point in time, and he said to me, no, just delete it. Get rid of it. Start over. At one point in time, he actually made me a new file. Just out of friendship. said, here's a new file, try it. And I had to play around, whacked it, delete everything, start over. Sometimes it is just the easiest way of doing it, man. Just kill it. All right, we've actually gone to 2 minutes now. Can you believe it? We talked too much. So now that temperature needs to rise. Should go up fairly quick. It seems to start to move, so let's go down, do our thing here. Go check the weather, 1013, which is strange, but anyway. I was watching the guys on Radar Box this morning. They were using 2.5 center and 1.8 for takeoff, but the 1.8 had a huge crosswind. And they still used it. These guys are, you know, obviously pumping out lots of flights there from Frankfurt this morning. I'm right by 2.5 center, so I'm just going to take that as I'm positioned.
Captain, passengers are asking for a cozier temperature.
That could not have been sweeter. That worked out very nice.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
I see we're losing FPS again. We've lost 10 FPS just in the few minutes I'm setting up here. That's not good. Before start procedure. Before start procedure.
Your loss of FPS is worrying me.
Before start procedure.
Yeah, there seems to be a memory leak in the scenery then. That's the only thing I can think of. Something is draining the memory. I'm going to have to figure out how to contact this guy and speak with him because this
Alright,
definitely something
all
wrong.
doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Before start procedure complete.
It's a family show.
Nico, it looks like it's raining in Joburg right now. Is that the case?
Could be at the airport, but not here at my house.
Tow connected and pipe has been inserted. Release parking brake.
Ready for pre-flight procedure. Ready for before start checklist.
Yeah, Anthony says it's not raining here at the FAO or either he stays close. 47. It was raining yesterday. It was actually lovely.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Morning, Peter.
N2.
Morning, Wycliffe. Yeah, we had some rain overnight as well.
Starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine. Flaps 5 set. 25 N2.
Yeah, as much as I love the rain, it can only last so long. It becomes a drag.
Ready for before taxi procedure. Starter cutout. Engine start procedure complete.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Before taxi procedure.
Before taxi procedure.
So now, as far as I'm concerned, all this nonsense can go away as well.
Tow is disconnected and pipe has been removed, and signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time.
Before taxi
Servus.
procedure complete. I am ready for before taxi checklist. Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for takeoff.
Let's go. just want to see the action, because now it needs to redraw everything and then clear the cache and redraw. See what it does.
Taxi lights on.
Piotr, I'm not sure. I read what you read in the change log, but I honestly don't know. I didn't even know we had some of those issues that Zibo says he fixed, so I don't know. I honestly don't know. Zibo's a master of code, you know, so he goes and he sits at the code. For all we know, it could be a full stop or a comma in the wrong place that did something we don't know. I must be honest, I really don't know. Right, so temperatures. Didn't even check temperatures. Just make sure we don't have ice on those wings.
Surely you shouldn't have your flaps down there.
No, no. The thing is, the taxi was like 50 meters, Uncle John. The flaps is... it won't be a problem. And we're at 9 degrees. If it was cooler, yeah, maybe. But it's so short. I'm just going to leave the engine anti-ice on. I need the rest. As we're going to go through those clouds, we're probably going
approaching
to get the rise in
2-5
temperature.
center.
So we'll see. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. Runway 25 center confirmed. Before takeoff procedure complete.
On runway 25 center.
Ready for before takeoff checklist. Stabilized.
Doga.
Takeoff thrust set. knots. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Takeoff like this that I really think about how much I love the X-plane. I've had to roll quite a bit to counter that wind.
Acceleration altitude. Approaching transition. Flaps 1 set.
And flaps up.
Transition altitude. Flaps up and set.
That looks beautiful.
Flight level 100, landing lights switches off.
Right now I can also relax and just enjoy the view.
It's coffee time, Nico. It's coffee time.
I've got some nice biltong, and I'm gonna sit and snack. Piotr, yes, it's much better. It's much smaller, lightweight. You can get away with less storage space. Mikma taught me something new about the AutoOrtho yesterday. But I've still got questions. Once I know everything, I'll probably make a new tutorial video to get the guys going, because now I understand it much better. It's interesting that even in the documentation it wasn't clearly explained. And if this guy didn't tell me yesterday something which I didn't know, I mean, we all assume certain things sometimes, right? It's opened quite a few thoughts in my mind now that I need to settle, that I need to get going, because it's a wonderful tool, it's a wonderful product. Just wish there was better documentation. So it means that somebody, probably me, will have to make a better video again and to explain it in more detail. But so you live and learn, you know. And I was up until 3 AM this morning reinstalling my AutoOrtho with the newfound knowledge that I've got. So it's been a night. I think I slept like 3 hours. But I'm up now, so I just want to keep myself busy. The way it works, for your second question, is there's a little app, obviously, the AutoOrtho application, and that needs to be up and running, and it needs to run the whole time while you're flying, because it obviously checks your GPS location and then goes and fetches and pulls in the images on the ground. It does not do that when you see the auto, when you see the images. So that's kind of counterproductive if you close the auto program. But it doesn't take a lot of resources, and for me it's seamless. I've flown 1 or 2 regions, like up north in Norway and Sweden, those areas where I've picked up scrap with this program taking a wee while to download, and then you sit there for a few seconds, like 20, 30 seconds sometimes, in between loading its tiles. But it only happened like once or twice, never again, so I've got no reason to complain about it, but just mention it. I got really nice screenshots. I can change my desktop background a little bit. So let me show you what I've got it. See it on screen, you should see it now. There it says running. This program needs to run, so it will minimize itself and get out of the way. And that's it. It does its thing. And you can't see the ground now because of the cover. But look, there's AutoOrtho there down at the bottom there. So it continuously kind of pre-reads the direction you're going in. Tiles on the fly. Jacob, I'm really not concentrating on that. I can't say it's any different to what I used to know about it. So you'll be the guy testing that, I promise you. It's an interesting thing. Let me also tell you what Nikma told me yesterday. I mean, I didn't realize it. This morning I asked Uncle John to explain to me his understanding. And I guarantee you, if I ask your understanding of what it means when you say scenery install directory, you're going to say to me, you think it points to your explain custom scenery folder. And it is not so. It's not so at all. That scenery install directory is the scenery here. That location is where these things go to when you download them. And I never knew that. Honestly, I didn't know that. I mean, there's no point in me even trying to lie about it. I just did it. I assumed, like Uncle John and probably every single one of you watching this thing, that was referring to your explain custom scenery. That's not. So, what I did last night was I identified my largest, emptiest hard drive, which will be my D drive. It's my purple Western Digital one. And I physically moved my scenery onto that hard drive. You see, if you put that little location to be explain 12 custom scenery, you're basically loading AutoOrtho twice into custom scenery. That's in effect what you do. And I didn't know that. Because I was always sitting here wondering, where does it save these things? Where does this sit? And I didn't spend much time on it. I never bothered to go look. But I always wondered, where the hell does this sit? And it sits there. It sits wherever that thing is pointing to. And so, I had to move it. I had to reinstall my AutoOrtho. One of the things I have not figured out, and I mean 3 a.m. in the morning, or even 2 or 1 a.m. in the morning, wasn't the right time to go and figure out the JSON files. But basically there are JSON files that tells this thing where it is, you know, where to read it, where to put it, and how to mount these drives, because obviously it mounts the scenery with what do you call it, symbolic links. Okay. And mine got confused to the point where I just said no, stuff it, I deleted everything. Just I moved the folder and then I went to scenery and I just started reloading everything. And now I know my JSON files are okay and everything works. But it would be cool to just understand that too, so I'll work on that in the background. Then obviously we've got the explain folder to show where explain is. It will then understand by its own self that it needs to go to the custom scenery. We've got the cache folder and we've got the temporary download folder. And that's about it. But that one for months now, obviously, cheated me a little bit. I mean, and there's nowhere in the documentation. I went back and I read the documentation and I looked. There's nowhere, anywhere, where the description is given that that is not your explain custom scenery folder. And it doesn't tell you, hey, this is where I put my scenery. I think it's an assumption that the author made, the developer made, that we will understand that that scenery and that scenery is the same. But with our backgrounds, the way we've been brought up, I'm 50 years old, I've been doing certain things a certain way. You always, from FS9 days in 2004, we were trained. If something asks you for your scenery folder, you tell it, it's your flight sim scenery folder, you can point it there. You know, now all of a sudden, the rules changed, you know, and that one was an eye-opener.
The developer, without any shadow of doubt, has done an incredible job with AutoOrthos. What he hasn't done is a concise description for installation.
Yeah.
And it's caused immense problems for a lot of people.
Yeah, because the understanding of how we read it, how we understand it, and what he intended seems to be two different things on multiple levels, you know. So as the community figures it out and we share the information, you know, it's going to come to a point where we're going to say, okay, well, let's make that video again and start over and explain it better, because really,
There are a couple of videos in YouTube how to install it, and even they haven't twigged on to what you've twigged on to,
No.
Nico.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Sorry, Peter. Is it? I wish I saw your comment earlier. The sound inside is better, right? Like this. Like the exterior sound. It's softer. Luigi, I don't use any engine sounds. The engine sounds comes from the Zibo F mod. It's just what it is. The only other sounds, but it doesn't include engine sounds, would be the wind and things like that that comes from Xperialistic. But the normal sounds is all Zibo. Jacob, what do you mean with roads and buildings? Sorry to ask a stupid question, but I don't want to answer you incorrectly. I don't exactly understand what you're asking. Filter, I use the BI because it loads the fastest. I've tried some of the others. Some don't have coverage all over. The BI ones have coverage all over. Okay, and they load the fastest. Those servers have got the biggest bandwidth, so they get to you the quickest. But I can't say it's the best. It's just it's the best under the circumstances. I agree, Jacob. I think the installer in itself needs to, you know, be a little bit more clever. I like that idea. Yeah, I think that's a good one. But I'm worried about your other question. What do you do with roads and buildings? Okay, there's two things I do. First of all, there's a little plugin or program that I'm running. Let me just get the name for you. xRoads. Okay, so you're gonna have to Google that one. There's one called xRoads, and basically what it does is it hides the explained textures for your secondary and tertiary roads. So you'll see the textures for the major highways and things, your primary roads, but xRoads hide those textures. So when you look down from above, yeah, you still can't see the ground. Okay, when you look down from above and you see roads, then you're literally looking at the picture, the image, the AutoOrtho image. So it hides those other textures. That also gives you a little bit of an FPS boost, I think.
1000 to level off.
How's that, Peter? Is that better? It's a little better. I'm starting to hear it now, but the main thing is you guys need to hear me. Okay, cool. Jacob, your question is still haunting me. Okay, so we've spoken about the roads. Let's talk about the buildings. Obviously, with AutoOrtho, you get the Y AutoOrthos. That is your overlays. All right, so the overlays contains the trees and the buildings, the roads, the traffic, things like that. So you must just have your I&I layers set up correctly so you can see everything, you know. But more than that, I won't be able to answer you now until you clarify the rest of the question. So No, you don't have to install more things. It's all part of Ortho or AutoOrtho. You get Y Ortho and X, Z AutoOrtho. And the Z is basically the bottom end and the Y is everything on top of it. What you could do to enhance it is you could load X Europe, for instance. But that's an enhancement. That is not, a requirement. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, you guys must tell me. I mean, I haven't changed my audio in a long time, so it's interesting that it's a problem today. I don't know why. But, yeah, just tell me when it happens and we fix it. Right, I suppose we need to start setting up, it seems. Morning, Andy. Good morning. Jacob, Austin made a cryptic reference not so long ago about something like what you are talking about, but I can't speak on his behalf and I can't make false promises, so we'll have to wait and see. But there was a kind of a glimmer of hope in what he said the one day, so we'll have to wait and see, how far it takes it and what he actually does or doesn't. In any event, this AutoOrtho is filling the gap nicely at this point in time. I highly recommend it. If that's something you like, do it. Just do it. Frequencies, minimus courses, fuel's good, reference and baro set, auto brake set. We didn't do AI there. Guys, come off. They all have it. It's not BI alone. They all have it. Every single provider have it. Not much you can do about it. Okay, now I don't know whether my mic was on or not. Piotr, they all have it. Doesn't matter which supplier or service you use. They all have good tiles and bad tiles. Some with cloud, some without, some with off coloring. It happens. Yeah, I must be honest with you. It's area bound as well. In South Africa, Google has got the better ones. It's got much better quality, less clouds. But I've seen it in other areas where it's not. Same with Bing. That's why in the old days on the Explain forum there was an actual list that recommended the best provider per country. We were still making the tiles manually.
Your engine sounds are extremely loud now. Nico. Nico.
Rob, I used to do it, but now I don't actually check it. Let's see.
Nico,
What the heck happened here? Ah, I had to find out how to recenter my display here in STKP so I can actually read what I'm doing.
Ready for descent procedure.
So that will be 62.2, and I see the landing weight estimate from somebody is 61.8. So there's 400 kilograms difference. Ah, it's close. It's close. Wing level adventure. We did, and at that point in time it wasn't viable, and we just never thought about it again. The amount of updates that we do and that we push out, I don't know what their terms and conditions would be, but I can almost guarantee you they're going to have a bandwidth issue with us, because 50 or 60,000 guys all of a sudden start pulling, you know, every day. They're not going to like it, because that's usually the big problem with the ISPs and everything, is because you don't have a content delivery network as such set up. Simply downloading creates a hell of a lot of traffic, a hell of a lot of bandwidth, and I've jumped between different service providers specifically because of that, and that's how I ended up on the torrents, because there's no bandwidth limits on the torrents, and bandwidth unfortunately costs money, you know. So I'm not exactly sure how Skymatix works at this point in time, what the terms and conditions would be, but the thing that killed us the last time was like the bandwidth. Bandwidth is just too much. That's why Matthias had to set up the content delivery network on his side for his Zibo installer, you know, and it was fun while it lasted, but you know, money's an issue. At some point in time, you don't want to spend too much money on a free project. So, bandwidth, big issue. Where is Uncle John calling me? Uncle John?
yeah, just turn your
Why
sound.
can I not hear you? Hold on. There, I can hear you now. Okay.
The engine sounds are overpowering the stream.
Well, I've turned them down a few times.
No, suddenly they were perfect, and then now they're blasting through.
Okay, no, but you remember you are watching on Discord, right? So if you look at my video on Discord, bottom right hand corner, you need to turn your own volume down. Look on the video.
Yeah, but if I turn down, I turn you down as well.
No. On the video itself, the video audio is separate. The only other thing I can do is to go back where I was. Remember, I was not sharing Explain, I was sharing the screen. So I can do that maybe again, just to kill it for you. But the easiest way is just for you to click on the video and to pull the volume down on the video. I don't know how it happened, but my volume on my headset was turned down. That's why I couldn't hear you, you know, calling me.
Well, all the way through the stream, it's been perfect. up until about 5 minutes
I
ago.
know. I changed the way it's streaming. Let me change it back. Hold on. There, it should be gone
That's
now.
better. That's better. Thank you.
Okay, dankie, Kies.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. It's early in the morning.
So far so good. I still notice a very small oscillation. Okay, it's very small, but it is there. But other than that, no issues that I can really report on. You know, I'm not sitting here dissecting everything. I made an agreement with Jacob earlier. He's going to go test all the technical stuff that he's worried about and then report back. But I'm just sitting here enjoying myself there. I'm not doing any real Zibo work right now.
Approach top of descent.
Thank you, Jacob. One of the viewers told me the other day that the Habitat, well, no, I call it Habitat, the Zibo EFB is in the way of the writing when you guys text there, and it was too bright. That was the complaint, it was too bright. Now that it's nicely dimmed, I want to see what happens again. We should have happiness. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, you need to speak to Paul and McDrying. They do those kind of tests, so they'll give you more insight in that regard. And Antonio also was helping me the other day. So those guys are into those number things when it comes to descents and decelerations. Yeah, Zibo will get there. The small tangent everybody went on when they started changing the flight model and everything, you know, it's almost sorted. So. Ha!
Nico, did you move that little tutorial from AutoOrtho you made?
Yeah, I want to remake it, so I just read it a little bit. Yes, I've learned so much about AutoOrtho in the last 12 hours that I just want to learn a little bit more. There's one or two things I want to check out, and then I'll rather make a new video based upon all the new information and the new understanding of how it really works. Because we all, that anyway, me and Uncle John and some of the other guys I've spoken to, had some assumptions of how it worked, and then yesterday it was totally proven to be false, you know. So we want to make it better.
Yeah, I was following that discussion, so I was thinking, well, it's a second Christmas day for us, so
Yeah.
let's install it again.
Well, I am here, so if you want to install it now, we can try talk through it and do things together maybe before I go. You know, give it a bash. The big thing for me is, let me get that thing up on screen here again. Big thing for me that I did not know, which I learned yesterday, is that the scenery install directory that it's referring to is referring to its own scenery. It's not talking about the explain scenery file or scenery folder. So you need to pick a place where you want the downloads, and I mean that's 118 gigabyte now. I measured it last night. It's 118 gig. Okay, so that 118 gig needs to go somewhere. Okay, then you specify your explain 12, and then you can give it a cache and a temporary download folder. Now you can see my D drive is my largest unused drive, so I just put everything in one place. Where's my folder? Let me show my folders. So on my D drive, I created a folder and I called it AutoOrtho. So it's D drive AutoOrtho. Okay, so in the AutoOrtho folder, I've got the program. That's the actual AutoOrtho program that you see in the background there. I've got the cache. That cache old is something I'm trying to delete. It will go eventually. Don't worry about that one. Then I've got my downloads. That download folder is this one over here. That is where it will temporarily download the 118 gig zip files, you know, to get this installed. You know, it will clean it out automatically when it's done, and also you don't have to worry about that. And then I made a scenery folder, which is this one. Okay. So I've got everything on one hard drive in one place. And then what happens is when this program runs, when you click the run button, it then creates symbolic links into your X-Plane custom scenery folder. And then you just need to make sure with X-Organizer or manually that you set the layers properly. That's all. There's nothing more to it. The other thing we learned yesterday is you must never run Token and Win FSP or SFP or whatever they call that thing at the same time. So I run on Token and Uncle John runs on Win FSP, and then it's a mixture. You know, as you go down the line, some people can run Token, some people cannot. And then if it doesn't work, you uninstall it and then you just install the next one, reboot your PC, and it should work. It's easy as that.
Can I add something, Nico?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, when you've downloaded, for instance, Europe, once it's downloaded, it says it's complete. However, it's now installing it into your X-Plane. And if you press your logs, the button logs, it'll actually show you what it's doing. Because until it's completed that process, which could take 10, 15 minutes, you're unsure of what's going on. So press the log button and you'll see the process when it's completed.
Yeah, like what I'm showing there, it's very important. You can check everything that's happening in here, so, and you'll know when it's done.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, no problem. That's the gist of it. I think a lot of people have got broken Windows systems that they're struggling with, that they don't realize, you know, or people are overthinking it. I've noticed this a few times. People simply overthink the process, and you shouldn't. You know, you point and click, let it go. It will do the rest. It's not that simple, obviously, because we all saw that assumption was the mother of all stuff ups here. Right, so we had to figure it out, got, you know, the rest of the community involved, learned more, got it going better, so we're all happy now. Just takes time.
What would be useful, Nico, when you do the video and you can find out how many zip files are in each section, because it's an unknown quantity. You never ever know when it's finished until you're sat there for 10 minutes and realise it hasn't moved anymore. But if somebody can make a record of how many zip files are required for each section, that would be useful.
Oh yeah, I didn't even bother. Some had 35 or 36, and some had 15, and some had 10, some had 12. I can't remember which ones it were. Anyway, Peter, so in AutoOrtho, I made the scenery folder, and that's where it's pointing to. Okay, so we go that one. Okay, it's this one. So the contents is your overlays. It's got the overlays in there, and it's got the AutoOrtho. So in overlays, that's what it looks like. And then in AutoOrtho, the AutoOrtho one, this is what it looks like. These are all your controller files. This is the thing that the program uses to mount the scenery, because it literally creates on the fly a symbolic link. And then inside of scenery, there you've got your regions. So that's everything inside.
I can remember from your own little movie that you made, is you also made some changes in the Windows drive, in the users map,
that's
is
no
that
longer
right?
necessary. No longer necessary at all. You don't need it.
Okay, so you point it out then, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nice thing, eh? Assumption.
Yes, I tell you, there's an old saying, I can't use the real word, but I think you guys understand what the real word is, but Assumption is the mother of all stuff-ups, I promise you. You think you know something and then somebody comes and says, you're understanding it wrong. You've got to learn, man. Quick. Peter, I tried it, okay? And then what happened was I kept on getting errors. And then I realized this. Let me show you. I realized this. And this is the one thing I really still want to learn, okay? And then I can help you guys again. But I realized that these files, these controller files, is coded for your previous location. Okay, so you can see it's got a folder path of where it's looking for the file. It's then got the downloads, it's got your scenery in there and all. But this appears to be only part of the configuration, and I haven't figured out where is the rest of the configuration file. Because I changed the folders, yeah, I mean I changed the directory pointing to and from, okay, but it still gave me errors. So somewhere in this thing's folder structure or in the registry or somewhere, there's got to be an inscription that says, take it from here, put it there. Because according to what I can see here, this tells you where it is. Okay, and even after changing this, it made no difference. This program, no matter what I did in that file, it always told me it's, you know, it got the install button. In other words, it wasn't installed. And I mean, it's 118 gigabyte. I copied it and I made sure everything was there. So in its mind, somewhere, there's something that was not set during the installation process, like a missing link, and that is what I haven't learned yet. I don't know where the missing link is, because by simply editing this file, it gave me no joy. And I compared it, you know, my edit versus the one it created afterwards itself. It was the same thing. So somewhere in this program or in the structure, somewhere, I don't know, somewhere there, or in the program itself, it did not pick up on the fact that we are now looking at a different folder for the destination, and it couldn't bring the two together, and I couldn't figure out why not. And I mean, 3 a.m. this morning, I just said, stick it. I set this thing on to run and I went to bed. Peter, it must be because of the links. It's got to do something with it. That file doesn't exist in my user folder anymore. I went to look for it and I couldn't find it. Let's have a look, see quickly. There's my user folder, AutoOrtho data. That file, that configuration file that Kees was also talking about, it doesn't exist anymore. It's not there. It's gone. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know where it's hiding it. So when Mikma comes around again, it sounds like he knows a little bit more than me. I'll ask him, because obviously the easy way of doing it is just to copy everything out of the explain folder and go put it in the new location, restart the program, save the configuration and tell it to work. But it didn't. I could not get it going to. It just didn't want to work. But again, it was 3 a.m. in the morning, so oh, hang on a second. Let's see. One directory higher. Oh crap! There you go. I found it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ah, you see. Now it could be as easy as that. You see, you might have just figured out the, you know, the missing link there. I'll have to go read through this carefully.
Have you just saved me a complete reinstall?
I think so. I hope so. Because I know, I mean, this was just logical. Somewhere it had to say something. EX.12 Yeah, I don't know. It's working now, but we'll have to maybe try it again. I just want to rest a day or two before I go and sit for 5 or 6 hours to re-download everything if I can set up. Thank you, Peter. I've only got so much patience, and then I want to cry. Yeah, Uncle John, that would be the answer. If we can just figure out how to move it, how to edit the files and the folder locations, then we should be fine.
Hope so. It'd be a shame to have to reinstall it all just to get that structure right.
Exactly. Well, Peter says he's going to try for us. Peter, when you've done it and when you figure it out, please come give us training then, please. Because then I think that's the last bit of missing information that we can then put in a video and get it all up again. And I can virtually guarantee you a lot of people, and you know what, I've actually thought about this, whether this is true or not, I don't know, but this has crossed my mind, that the reason Token stopped working for so many people is because of the changes, moving stuff around, uninstalling, reinstalling, moving stuff around. That thing just lost the path somewhere, and it couldn't put two and two back together again. And if we can learn how to fix those paths, then we probably never have to reinstall it ever again. You know, never mind how many times you move it.
Yeah, and the other problem, of course, is that this Token and WinFSP, some of it is always left remnants into the registry.
Yeah, Jacob, you'll learn how Zibo works. When it's something he does not want to talk about, he's not going to talk about it. Then, you know, he keeps it to himself, unfortunately. You know, a lot of stuff he does, I think he guess is probably proprietary stuff, or it's not important, or whatever, you know. Or he got busy and he just forgot to answer. You know, there's many things to it, but, I mean, we know how Zibo operates, and Zibo does not always answer, you know, and you can pick from any list, you know, the reasons why he does that. No problem, Peter. When you're ready, you just let us know, because it will be brilliant. It will solve a lot of problems for a lot of people. In the interim, if I see Mikma, if he comes online, I'm going to ask him. There's just one thing I don't like about the whole process. When you download the scenery, the stuff, it goes and it puts it in the
Flight
download
level
folder.
100.
The
Landing
moment it
lights
comes
switches
up
on.
with a message there, done, and you go back to that folder, it's deleted all those zip files. All the downloads are gone. I wish the guy would make it, this developer, that we don't lose those zip files. You know, I mean, most of us have got the extra spare 100 gig lying around somewhere, you know, we don't use. It would have been great if we could just keep those zip files. Right, are you guys ready to land?
Go for it. Go on, go for it.
Hello, Gilbert. Goeiemôre. Then we just have to get the developers to stop deleting the orthos in the tiles. Look, this is default X-plane again, because we're flying into payware scenery. So when the guys put ortho in and around the airports, they lose the ortho in the rest of the tile. Probably because of copyright issues and stuff, but if we can get them to stop doing that, it will be nice. Because the scenery is brilliant, nothing wrong with it, but it kind of looks wonky. You fly with AutoOrtho, then you get this cut off line, and then you're in default X-plane, and then you get to the airport and it looks, oh, wonderful again.
That's the case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing.
Yeah, look, I get they want to make the scenery look cool and all, but then they must give you an option. Do you want our ortho, or are you going to use your own ortho? Then you can at least say, I'll use my own ortho, thank you.
Flaps 1 set. Transition level. Ready for approach checklist. Flaps 5 set.
I took out the procedure hold that you are supposed to do here, and I see there's a big jump there in the VNAV path all of a sudden. No, Jacob, that I don't know. There must be a way to tell X-plane to do it for you, but I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Speed brake is on, cabin is secure, the brake set, we're getting there.
Flaps 15 set. 1000 to level off. Flaps 30 set. Ready for landing checklist.
Radio altimeter.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for landing. 1000 to level off.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Yeah, I think everything is okay. I took out the procedure hold there, and what happened was we came into idling. You know, you are supposed to enter the procedure hold at 8,000 and exit it at like, I think 3,000 or 3,500 or something. So it's like a spiral, you know, that you come down in. I was lazy, I didn't want to do that, so I took it out, and yeah, then we came in a bit high. The other thing is this wind shear thing at the 1,500 foot AGL. I think that's a weather engine thing, because it happens every time. It's too much of a coincidence. You actually make a note of that.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Approaching 2-2.
Yeah, I must be honest with you, I like this version. The 7.5 looks
500,
very nice.
cleared to land runway 22.
500. 400. 300. 400. Approaching decision height. 200. Minimums. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlock.
You've been practicing, haven't you?
Yeah, I wanted to make you proud of what's on.
No, you did well there, lad. Well done.
Thank you.
60 knots. Yet. Great landing. You are professional.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I like 7.5. 7.5 works for me, huh? After landing procedure.
After landing procedure. After landing procedure complete.
Thanks, gents. Well, I hope you're going to enjoy this version, and I'll probably fly it a bit later on again. We'll see. No promises. Today is my last off day. Tomorrow it's back to work for me, so I'll have to check what we do.
Flaps up and set.
Welcome to Stansted, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Oh, that sun is nasty.
Yeah, we enjoyed the ride and learned something.
Yeah. Always good when we can share information. Interesting phenomenon. I want to check some levels quickly. See, flight directors are not set, Jacob. If flight directors are off, it doesn't do it. Now I know that one of the things that I was told is what the guys do when they get off the runways. They switch the flight directors off. They just kill it. Okay, so I think that's the fail-safe, because otherwise this logic might put this thing in go-around mode, and that's why it's spooling up. So when I speak to Sasso next time, I'll ask him. But for now, make sure you switch your flight directors off, because then there's nothing to command the aircraft with, you see. And I've got a good idea those flight directors get switched off. I hear you. That's why I say I'll ask Sasso. I'll ask him what they do. Yeah. If Sasso says it's wrong, he'll tell Zibo, and then Zibo will fix it. I know what it is. You can actually hear it click when you take off. Just after takeoff, you can hear a click sound. That's your weight on wheel sensor, or at least, yeah, the relay or whatever. Click, takes it off. As a matter of interest. Uncle John.
Yes, sir.
Is it really only this weak light? Like still pretty much dawn in the UK, or is this depicted wrong? It's like freaking 5 in the morning for us. This kind of lighting.
Nico, we've got past now the shortest day. So now it'll get better as the weeks go by. It'll be lighter in the morning.
Jacob, no, I think you're confusing the two things. The solenoid in the gear handle, I can't see that that's linked to your weight on wheels. I don't know. I don't know the diagram that well. I just know what you can hear when you take off. You click, That's your weight on wheels clicking. Because when Zibo implemented it, he told us to see what changed. And we were flying and taking off, doing things, and he always said, it's on takeoff, it's on takeoff. And then we had to click one day, and I was, here we go. Because after takeoff, you don't touch your gear handle. I mean, your hand's not even at the gear when you hear the click. It's literally like, I think, 20, 30 foot above ground, just as you pull up, click.
Nico, just for your information, in the Netherlands it was 09:44 Zulu time, sunrise.
Ah. Oh, good. Dark winter.
Yeah, but finally blue skies. In the UK and over here.
Yeah.
For the first time since weeks.
Yes, and it's normal kind of pressures, 1013 now, you know. It's the pressures were hectic. Right, almost there.
Hello, do someone hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to explain. You misunderstood me.
Okay.
So the weight on wheel sensor gives information to the solenoid in the gear handle, so you can't move up the gear handle. And because you don't want to move up the gear handle on the ground, of course. Yes. And the sound you hear when you take off, the click sound, that is when the weight on wheel sensor senses that the weight on wheels is not there.
Exactly.
And therefore it turns off the solenoid, or I don't remember if it turns it on, but turns it off or turns it on, I don't remember. I have the gear handle. I had two OEM gear handles, so I've interfaced it with the ProSim, for example. And anyway, so then when your weight on wheel sensor is removed, weight on wheels is removed, the gears, you can take up the gears.
Yeah.
Ready for shutdown procedure.
Yeah. So and when I was talking about the weight on wheels after landing and takeoff thrust and auto the arm, when you are in approach mode and you land and the aircraft get the weight on wheels, I think the auto throttle should turn off, and the modes that is associated with it should also turn off. You should not be able to when you have landed and got below a certain speed, you shouldn't have throttle just moving right up. That's my understanding of it, at least.
Yeah. That's why I said let's ask Sasso, because I'm not too familiar with it. So we'll get his answer, and then obviously if it's a problem, you can push it through to Zibo to fix it. Easy as.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and there we go. That's it. We are done. Was an excellent flight. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Good morning, Krista, and yeah, that's it. That's about it. Yeah, Uncle John.
Thank you.
Thank you for the stream, Nico.
If someone know how to set,
Say.
If someone know how to make the aircraft go up to a certain altitude, would be really nice to do some tests.
There is a way, okay, but I'm not even gonna hazard to try and explain to you. I swear I don't have the knowledge, but I can try help you find it. So we'll see.
Is it like sleeve mode in?
No. There's a setting. Piotr, what do you mean the cargo doors is not correctly? What do you mean? Because obviously they need to open, and obviously the baggage needs to come out now. So what exactly is wrong? I don't see anything wrong with the doors. The only thing I see is that we don't have steps at the back, and I'm wondering if that's probably, there you go. It was the beacon light that was preventing them from coming, but I don't see anything wrong with it. We even got our thingamading moving, but it's not reaching unless it's gonna grow. Could probably grow. Ah, look. It's actually coming. My goodness. Oh, sorry. I can't see what's behind the little heart. So I'm not sure if you're saying the cargo doors are open or are not opening correctly. Now I see cargo doors are open correctly. All right, sorry about that. I wish I could get rid of this bloody heart here on my screen. Ah, got it. Okay, sorry, I misinterpreted because that heart is blocking something of what you're saying. Okay, anyway, that's it then. Cheers, guys. We'll see what we can do about a stream maybe later. Otherwise, in the week, we'll catch up.
Thanks, Nico, for the stream.
Okay.
Captain, passengers are asking for a cozier temperature.